Vuyos Story done by Jody Palmer. In the later years of the 1980s, there was a young boy named Vuyo. Vuyo lives in the Eastern Cape, in a small village just outside the city. Vuyo is a herd boy, someone who looks after cattle. Vuyo has no friends besides Simba, a dog, who goes with Vuyo to the fields. Vuyo spends his days taking the cattle to the fields to graze in the early mornings and returns in the late afternoon. One day, while Vuyo and Simba rolled around playing in the fields, they heard a noise and it got closer and closer. Suddenly rising over the hill was a big blue van. Vuyo ran excitedly towards it with Simba beside him because he knew it was Uncle Jabu. The van stopped under a marula tree and Uncle Jabu got out. Uncle Jabu is an old friend of Simba's father. Uncle Jabu told Vuyo he came to relax. He always goes to the field to go and relax. Vuyo and Simba went and played tag while Uncle Jabu rested under the tree. Many hours later, Uncle Jabu called Vuyo and asked him to go to the shop. He said that he will watch the cattle. Vuyo and Simba played tag to and fro from the shop. On returning, Vuyo found it awfully strange that the cattle were gone and Uncle Jabu was nowhere to be seen. Vuyo checked around and there was no one. He walked home thinking to himself, maybe Uncle Jabu went home with the cattle because they took so long. When Vuyo got home, his father asked him, where is the cattle? Vuyo explained what had happened. They rushed over to Uncle Jabu's house, but it was awfully quiet. They drove around looking for him, but they could not find him. They went back to his house to see if he had returned. Vuyo's father had a bad feeling about this. Suddenly, Uncle Jabu's neighbors saw they had been looking for him and told him that he had gone to the city. Vuyo and his father rushed over to the city, and their bad feelings grew. When they got into the city, they drove around the market. They noticed a group of people surrounding something, but they were not sure what it was. Curiously, they went to see what was all the fuss about, and also hopefully found someone who saw and knew Uncle Jabu. When they got in the front, to their surprise, he was right there and looked to be selling the cattle. Furiously, Vuyo's father rushed to him. Uncle Jabu had seen them coming towards him and disappeared into the crowd. The chief of the village was in attendance of his sale, and Vuyo's father had explained to him what had happened. He then called the sale off and promised that Uncle Jabu would not be able to return to the village again. When going home, Vuyo had promised his father never to let anyone in charge of the cattle.